Greetings, everyone. My name is Ben Goldstein, and I'm here with Mark Szymczak, the founder of Sedona Quantum Consciousness, a center in Sedona that has been helping people with the ascension process through different technologies and meditation work. So, Mark, express how you started this center, why you started it, and what you guys do.
Yeah, we've been going now for not quite 2 years, probably about 18 months. And we've recently come to a new location here at Ultimate Light Mission, which is kind of cool. It makes it a little more fun, allows a larger community to be involved with what we're doing. And we're about empowering three things primarily: empowering people with information so that they can accelerate themselves on this ascension process, right? So we have educational programs that go on here, presentations on breathing, on improving one's meditation, on parasite and heavy metal detox, some of these things from the physiological standpoint that help us better ourselves here in the 3D world. And then we're about transformative tech, which can really help settle the mind, but also help our physiology as well. So we have a number of, I probably have about 10 different transformative technologies more really that I'll pull out to help people with pain, help people with dial down the mental chatter, help people with heart issues, panic, anxiety, asthma, these types of things, but also just, dialing in the autonomic nervous system and making meditation easier so that people can move into that quieter 0 point space a little bit easier. And then we're also about community and joy, right? Because it doesn't have to be fully aesthetic or ascetic, right? A stoic approach to this ascension process. And so we can be in community and having fun at the same time. So we have transformative tech like the biocharger that we've had hundreds, if not 1,000 people attend these events where we are together in community doing prayer and meditation while getting the energy of the biocharger, right? And then amplifying that energy out to the universe so that our intentions will come to fruition a little bit easier. So we amplify our energy, our vibration, and our intentions together, right? And it's fun. It's a joy to kind of be in this quiet space while we're receiving power and then sending this power back out, amplifying, because we are the real technology. And so this is just part of the joy. Then, because we're at ULM and there's all sorts of dance parties or different events going on all the time, there's plenty of other activities. So we brought in that community in a sense that we have room for a lot of people now and a lot big space. So it's nice in that sense.
It's nice that we're at a beautiful venue. And something that I really appreciate about what you guys do is the balance between work and play, where you do allow joy, which does increase like the spirituality and the effectiveness of prayer. But we see like in spirituality and the new age that there's a lot of joy, there's a lot of fun and play, but there's not as much work. And in the East they say chop wood, carry water.
Yeah.
And we have these new technologies that can accelerate our ability to know ourselves and to amplify ourselves.
Yeah, we have to be careful because there's so many technologies out there, right? The virtual reality that can theoretically help us move, and maybe it will help the brain in some directions, but really what we focus on are technologies that can help us quiet the mind, because it's a perspective, but my viewpoint is that, hey, yes, we can have lots of joy with festival mentality and being in dance all the time, and maybe that can raise vibrations, but there's got to be, it's a perspective that there's got to be space for the quiet mind, for settling, right, for getting in tune with nature, with divine, our own inner God, so to speak, right? And that has to be there. And if we are, for whatever reason, traumas and past lives and childhood, or even currently, we have these traumas, it doesn't help us ease our nervous system or our mind. And so technologies can help us with that, right? And so there are specific technologies, neurofeedback, biofeedback, that can really help us dial this in a lot better.
Right. And the courses as well, the education. And
yeah, the courses are really important because you have to believe something before you start making shifts. This takes work. And so if you're going to make a shift in habits or in what you do through life, you have to have a change in beliefs, because epigenetically, this is the big thing going on here. This is the big environment. What's going on in your own head? So if you want to shift your being, your vibration, your actions, your behavior, you're going to have to shift first your paradigm up here, and that includes the beliefs that are going on. So some of these empowerment classes, as well as some of what you do, right, with your Instagram page, are about helping people see a new perspective that helps them rethink their behavior and what their habits are, right? And we go from ancestral health, we spend a lot of time on the land because we value how important that is, to settling, or being in sunshine for that matter, and doing the work of exercise. We're meant to not be in meditation all day long. We're meant to be on the land, moving and pushing our limits. We do hormetic stress all the time, right? And that's part of the joy. If you can start to enjoy that hormetic stress,
which is stress that has a positive effect on the body.
Yeah, it helps build our resilience, right? And so it's helping us get stronger. Meditation, yoga, stretching is a hormetic stress. And so these are aspects of health that, people do because they end up feeling better. Like, wow, I feel balanced after doing this. But we have to make them part of our routine through the day so that we can have this nervous system a little more balanced.
Yeah, it seems like the nervous system is the missing link, and people are finally starting to discover the importance of, having calm when you need calm, having activation when you need activation, and no longer being a victim of circumstance, but being able to regulate what you need. I see what's going on here is a huge, you guys are getting rid of unwanted guests, whether that's anxiety, whether that's lethargy, whether that's the inability to focus, whether that's anything. You're using both spiritual practices and technology to allow someone to stop wasting energy on this pattern and this pattern. But everyone wants to manifest, and coming here can help them clear that, so they can go easier manifest what they want to experience versus fueling something that is obsolete.
Yeah, that's well said, right? That we have these ways of going about life, and one of the big things you touched on, I use the term behavioral flexibility. That at first we want to be appropriate behavior at all times, right? That's lifting our vibration, right? And that can change as our vibration moves, what that behavior is. But we want to be able to sleep when we need to sleep. We want to be able to focus and get tasks done when we want to. We want to be able to, and alpha, which is an open focus, a relaxed attention, heart rate down, breathing down, right? We don't want to be in fight or flight most of the time. We want, or any of the time unnecessarily. We want to be in this settled state, if we're into longevity as well as which is part of the ascension process. So, but we want that to, where that is going to take some work, we want that to become subconscious eventually, where we don't have to really think about it. It is part of the autonomic nervous system, where our breathing, our pupils aren't dilated. We're not in this fight or flight. We're just in an ease pattern. We're moving toward flow states. And that is really where we want to go with people, is moving people toward the flow state, where it's not always the mind saying, oh, what do I need to do next? What do I need to do to get the goods of life, right? To allow, to empty this chalice to this mind, right? And allow the divinity, the grace to flow in, that helps with a flow and an ease of life a little bit easier than us always having to work it out. Now that's a paradigm, because there is value to those that want to go, ambitious, focus, I will get it done, task-oriented goal, and that's fine. That can work, but there's often a bit of stress associated with that paradigm, right? You can get to that goal and then go, oh wow, I got there, but now what? And still be kind of have a sunken feeling, especially if that goal doesn't have what we call viveka, which is discernment, right? That, oh, was that the right goal?
Right.
To begin with, right? And so
we gain something only to lose many things,
Yeah, Yeah, right. So
You lose time, energy, the stress takes over,
yeah.
but at least you got it done.
Yeah, and so we can be proud of ourselves if there, pride's not that high a virtue, but nonetheless,
Not
for
even a
having,
virtue.
yeah, not right, not even. So we can, we can have that, get there, and then go, oh, but wait, now I need to pivot. That wasn't quite. So this is where the 0 point, that quiet space helps, right? So doing the morning work of meditation and the prayer at night, and that's part of SQC also, is becoming a little more prayerful, especially in the evening, right? And taking advantage of that surrender process, so that we can have more discernment in the morning, or a better meditation in the morning. So that's an aspect worth discussing maybe in another video.
Definitely.
Is how to get into that space, right? Because this is a big one. This is really important, to then having the flow of the creator of our inner God directing us in a life path that is purposeful and is fulfilling.
Yeah, we know all that's to come, and the people who can't make it to Sedona, Mark's going to have all sorts of information and courses you can be taking to, if you're not at least here, you can at least start to get the benefit out of the wealth of knowledge that Mark has accumulated.
Yeah, thank you, Ben. We'll be doing some things online as well. We'll be putting some of our Frequency Fridays online, so join us, and if you haven't signed up for our newsletter, you can email us at Sedona Quantum Consciousness, info@sedonaqc.org, or mark@breathing.coach. Either one of those you can email and get signed up for our forthcoming newsletter.
So what are we doing today?
Well, we've got biocharging today. So this afternoon from 5 to 6 o'clock is biocharging. So on Wednesdays, because it was a full moon recently, we are doing parasite cleansing and some right frequencies to help, get rid of some of these parasites. So after a full moon, it's kind of a good time, and before a full moon. So we did this last week as well, to do biocharging with right frequency, certain recipe that helps us knock out the parasites. So that's today. It's free for practitioners. We welcome others to come in with donations, and then on Friday we have a sound bath meditation with Jade Lyons, which will be a lot of fun, where we essentially do biocharging, and then we drop people in deep with a gong bath. Yeah, so that's Friday.
What are we doing for technology, you and me?
Oh, yes. Yeah. What are we doing? So today we're going to be looking at your breathing fitness, your respiratory fitness, using Capnometry Biofeedback. So this is an aspect of Pillar of Health few people understand, is our breathing habit. And it's about the breathing chemistry. Most people think that, more air better, and that's not necessarily the case. There's a molecule that's probably the most important, and it's free, that we need to be securing more of, and that's what we'll be looking at today through this capnometry.
And it keeps the blood at the right pH, so that way my blood isn't corroding my body.
Yeah, right. There's a lot of details that we'll go through. So join us in one of our Breath Ease training courses to fully understand and get a shift in your paradigm about breathing, because it's not what you think it is. Wim Hof, if you're a big Wim Hof breather,
it's an activator, but you can only work out so much in a day.
Yeah.
You can only be in the cold water so much in a day. You can only be activated so much in a day. This is the subtle, consistent medicine that you can be doing all day.
Yeah.
That, the activation is good in a small amount, but this is good 24 hours a day.
24 hours a day, right? You can't be in control of your breath through the night, so you want to make sure that it is normalized through the evening by having a good breathing habit in the day. And so we'll be doing that. And we may, if we have time, jump into neurofeedback too. If not today, we'll jump in tomorrow into neurofeedback, which really helps settle the mind, because that's part of it. Our nervous system is often a function of where our mind is at. And so learning how to be mostly an alpha, right, to have the ability to move toward an alpha, synchronous alpha, right, which is the state of an advanced meditator in a much shorter period of time. So I call it tech accelerated meditation, because we're going to accelerate. I spent 15 years of 2 to 3 hours a day on a pillow. And most people don't have that time to get serious into that practice, but we can speed that up with some of this neurofeedback. And I've used many different types of neurofeedback. This one's old school, it's analog, and it's really pretty profound in its value. And so I like using this particular neurofeedback. And even though when you see the video, you might think, oh, wow, you're back in the old days. No, this stuff works better than most of the new stuff.
I think we got led astray somewhere along the line, so
yeah,
it's
right.
nice to go back.
It's nice to go back and recognize, some of the older technologies, drumming and fire can be just as good as audiovisual, flickering lights and pulsing binaural beats, right? That some of these more ancestral ways or older ways can be just as good. Just like running can be really good, as opposed to getting on a Vasper or
we're such complex technology that if we're not doing certain things, it's move it or lose it, so if we're not using this technology, like it lulls and it lapses,
so it's important to use it to its fullest effect, right? And that's where choices come in, right? And so there's a lot more choices than what we offer here, but we're going to give you some that help, again, focused on joy and on the ascension process, right? So being in flow while moving higher in vibration. So let's go get it.
Let's go.
This is where your medicine is, right here.
Time to get your medicine on. It's right here.
Get it on.